Hey y'all, today was Monday. It was push day. What we're watching right now is actually my second session in the gym today. At the end of this video, I got a dialogue that basically explains that I couldn't get a bench earlier in the day. I wanted a free rack, but everything was taken earlier in the day. Somehow, I went later during rush hour and was able to get a Smith machine. So I'll take it where I can get it. We started off with the bar. I didn't record that part, but then we just quickly jumped to plates. These Smith machines start at 25 pounds of resistance, so just keep that in mind when you see these numbers. I'm just trying to get a little warm up, make sure that we get the bench set right, and keeping good posture as always, keeping the form right, and just trying to feel that stretch all the way through. Not worried about how many reps, not worried about the weight, just trying to really feel the muscle contraction, keep that tension. Ideally, all of my sets would be in between 30 and 45 seconds, just to make sure I'm putting the muscle under tension for a certain amount of time. Here we jump up about 50 pounds, but that's like I said, the bar starts at 25, so this isn't 185. Not locking all the way out. I'm kind of stopping where I feel the tension in the muscle starting to fade. My muscle contraction, I feel like when I go a little bit higher, my triceps begin to take over, so I don't lock out all the way every time. So full range of motion, not a priority on most of these workouts, especially when I'm bench pressing, because I'm working on chest these days. When I do push, it's all about the chest. But I do try to isolate the triceps by themselves when I can, just every now and then. As you guys know, I'm preparing for a show. I want to do a show end of this year, so when that prep starts, then I'll really kick it up a notch with the arms. But for right now, I'm just trying to grow my weaker parts, which are my chest and my back. I don't think I go above this weight here. I added a 10, and that was all I needed to make sure that if I'm going slow enough, this was more than enough weight for me. When I put that 10 on, I was able to feel tension all the way through the motion, so I was able to just get the most out of locking out on this one. Here, we got some diamond push-ups. I had another one recorded, but I didn't like the angle, so I didn't include that one in here. But we did 3 sets of diamond push-ups just to emphasize the arms, and that works well for me too. The hands right below the chest, getting a good squeeze in the arms, getting a good squeeze in the chest. Just trying to keep my balance. Putting my legs up like that increases the amount of resistance, the amount of my body weight that I need to lift. So the higher up my legs are, the more of my body weight I actually have to push. Like I said, this is my second workout of the day. I'm no longer fresh, but I want to crank out some reps. I want to get more work in. So this isn't me training to the best of my ability. I'm already tired at this point. And this is earlier in the day. This is when I started my workout today. This is when push day officially started. Just warming up. I like to warm up at least one joint per exercise. Which reminds me, I did get some abs in yesterday, but I didn't record that. This helps me, especially with my cardio. My cardio is primarily the Stairmaster, so keeping my calves and my ankles warm, loose, and strong will definitely help me for what I choose to do for cardio. On this, I like to lean forward onto the machine a little bit, just so I can I can kind of use my body weight to manage how much weight is actually on the bar at any given time, how much work my calves actually have to do. The 45s are enough, but sometimes to avoid having to put more weight on and have to keep re-racking weight, I'll just lean on the bar a little bit, lean on the machine, and that works well with this one. When I'm just warming up, when the sets are more so something that I do every day, I do about 3 sets. Nothing to failure here. We're just keeping the muscle strong, keeping it loose, and making sure that it's ready for when I need to do cardio. In the past, I've had problems with my Achilles in the back of my calf getting really tight during cardio. I'm sure that had more to do with my level of hydration than anything else, but just want to make sure that those are ready to go. I'm on the pec deck now. This machine works wonders. I'm not sure if I've already adjusted the seat for this video. I kind of just jumped on it, wanted to see how these flies would feel, and I didn't move the weight, didn't move the seat, so I probably adjusted in this next one. Yes, I do. Had to lower it a little bit just to make sure that my arms were flying over my chest and not under it, especially when I get into correct posture and form on this bench. I'm pushing back into the seat, and I emphasize that a lot more when I put my legs out in front of me, but I only tend to do that when I put up the weight. Otherwise, I feel like I'm using more body parts than I need to actually push and pull the weight with my chest. The key here is just feeling the muscle, slow and controlled. It kind of depends on the weight, how slow I want to go. The tension, I usually try to keep a good ratio, just making sure that my stretch is slower than my contraction. The pump cover came off, which means I was probably in there getting hot, and I probably put up the weight. So now we're ready to really push into the seat here, getting my shoulders back so that I'm sure not to use those for my contraction. And this is one of the reasons why I like to record, because this is definitely too fast. Slowing it down a little bit now. Probably realize that I'm just throwing the weight around a little bit too much, but I would really like to get a better control of that stretch, and maybe a squeeze at the top would be ideal. Maybe that just means I need to drop the weight a little bit, but nonetheless, that was good form. I try not to worry too much about rep speed, especially when I watch the greats do it. I see all these videos of, Ronnie Coleman or Flex Wheeler, and it seems like back in the day, some of the best bodybuilders I've ever seen didn't follow the same rules that, modern bodybuilders would try and emphasize, or a lot of people emphasize these days, which are the slow stretching, the contraction, but maybe that was just for the video, that they were just throwing weight around. At least that's what it seemed to look like sometime, but they probably had such great control over their over the weight and mind-muscle connection that they could get away with that. For me, working the chest, it would be ideal if I, like what you see right here, control the weight all the way through the motion. I'm able to do that a little bit better now that my legs are in front of me. I can keep my back on the pad and just really feel that stretch. I'm stretching more on this one than I was on the last one. And here we got some more dips. If I remember correctly, I'm tucking the knees in, I'm leaning over my knees, and it's more of a chest press than a tricep dip. Emphasizing the chest here, not going full range of motion again, because this is where I feel my chest working the most. And this is great workout. I call this pretty much the upper body squat. It's my bread and butter. It keeps the back thick. It keeps the front thick. It keeps the core stabilized. It helps with core strength and stability. All around, dips are a must. Everyone should be trying to do dips, especially if there's something wrong with your lower body. Like one of my friends, he has a hip problem, so I told him that dips would be a great way to build that upper body thickness and to just get that size that you really want for the upper body. It's one of those compound movements that requires you to tighten and strengthen all of the muscles up top if you're going to keep proper form and keep stable throughout the entire exercise. I tried to switch up the angle here. So that you could see from both sides what this is supposed to look like. I'm losing form a little bit. I'm losing strength, but I'm trying to push through and train to failure here. That was a good one. That was a good one, y'all. JJ, back again. Call me Claude, please. No, that was good. That was good. We did too much, for one. But also not enough. I didn't get to get my shoulder rotations in. I didn't get my abs in. I did train my calves and my ankles, and I got to foam roll and I got to stretch. And I did over an hour of cardio. I didn't record. Oh, actually, I did get a little bit of recording. I got 30 minutes recorded. I recorded my 30-minute mark anyway. And but I was on there for 3 minutes, then 7 minutes, then 40 minutes, and they put this emergency stop thing in the most inconvenient place. Either that or I'm just clumsy and my knee keeps hitting it. I don't really know what to tell you, but yeah, that's how that went. So my knee kept hitting the thing, so I probably have about another 50 minutes that I could add to the 30 that I time stamped. But other than that, it's chest day, and I think I'm going to come back later. I might be recording another one of these and a bench session. So I'm looking forward to that. But if I don't record it, I did it. But through this workout, we're just training to feel the muscle, training to feel the tension, to feel the stretch. And as always, we just want to keep on just exaggerating that mind-muscle connection. I don't care how heavy it is. I'm not a power lifter, but I do want to train hard. I do want to be the hardest person working in there. Like, I did cardio today longer than most of the people were even in the gym. So to me, that's a flex. That's a win, and I'll take it. I swear, oh God. But that was good. And I got to get on the pec deck, got some dips in, but with a variation that with my knees tucked, as you'll see. And I'll explain that through the video. But yeah, I think I'm going to come back for a bench press session later with my friend Sebastian. And we're just going to keep this ball rolling. I'm about to go to the store right now. I got to get some, I'm going to get a roast. I'm gonna put that in the slow cooker. I gotta finish off the chicken that's already in the slow cooker. I made some jerk chicken, one of my favorites, and I'm gonna make some curry. I'm gonna make a curry roast later on, and it's going to be delicious. I'm looking forward to it. Throw that in the slow cooker as well, and just gains, chicken and rice, roast and rice. And sometimes I like to throw some Brussels sprouts in there as well, just to get some greens in me. If not, then I'll just throw some blanking right now. What is that? Spinach. I'll throw some spinach in my protein shake. I haven't had one of those in a couple of days, so I'm looking forward to a protein shake. And guys, just remember, when we're trying to grow, the most important part is eating. You got to eat. You don't grow in the gym. You break your body down in the gym, which is why it's important to recover. It's important to stretch. It's important to give your body the nutrients it needs to recover. Whether and the time, as well as sleep. Sleep is its own thing. It's not nutrients. It's not in and of itself time. But sleep is like a human being superpower. It's really just, it's all living being superpower. You need to sleep. You need to get good sleep. So, don't be going to sleep under the influence thinking that you're going to wake up as recovered as you possibly could be. That's not the case. So I had to learn that for myself. So, let's grow together. Let's be great together. And, we're going to keep preaching the good word. If you haven't been showing up, just start there. Let's show up. And we can work on it from there. I've been getting on one of my boys, trying to get people to just show up. I tell them all the time, give me 3 days, 45 minutes, 3 days a week, and you got some and I'm gonna give you some homework to do just to make sure that, you're going to get the results that you want to get. 30 minutes, 30 minutes of lifting, 20 to 25 minutes of, cardio. I don't need you going fast. I don't need you killing yourself. This is the most important thing, is just to be able to block off the time, show up, and complete the workout. That's the most important part to getting started. Once you can just have it in your mind, okay, this is a part of my life. This is a part of my lifestyle. Then we can work from there. But if you can't even make time for it, then there's no gains to be had. We can't work with somebody that doesn't show up. So keep showing up, keep showing out, and we're going to get right. I'll talk to you.